Hi, today I'm going to talk about the House of Spirits. The writer Isabel Allende was born on August 2 in 1942 in the city of Lima, Peru. Uh, Isabel, uh, Isabel Allende, daughter of Chilean diplomat Tomás Allende, who inspired in him his love for letters. He was born in Lima while his father serves as Chile's ambassador to Peru. Isabel Allende studied journalism while she began writing plays and children's history. He, she worked as a writer and columnist in the print media and television. Also, in 1962, he married with Miguel Farias, from whom he was to divorce in 1987 after having had two children, Paula, who died in 19, 1992, and Nicholas in 1973 after the Chilean military coup headed by General Pinochet, in which his uncle, the President, the President Salvador Allende, died. He left his country and settled in Caracas, where he began his literary production. Uh, and in this production, the House of the Spirit, is his first novel and his best now now work. The novel of the House of the Spirit is a work where Isabel Allende tells the history of the Trueba family. The story is based the, on a period in which Chile served a monarchy. That is why Isabel managed to capture a bit of story personal and cultural that was living in Chile during the time. And Chile at independence in 1818, but before that, in this country, the most powerful commanded and the others obeyed. This this was more evident in areas, in rural section, where the most powerful person or the owner of the land was the boss, and was the one who he gave word to the person. The boss was a person, the the hardest person. Uh, he had to be respect. This can see this can see this in the history when Transito Soto held his employers saying, I still owe him a favor box when he did he take box in the year 1826 in the country of of Chile, more specifically in Chanarcillo. Uh, he shares gold. The gold is discovered and gold fever is aroused. This is also reflected in the book when Esteban Trueba decides to go to the mines to look for gold. And Also, in the house of the spirit is reflected in the revolutionary ideas that are filtered in the farm by the hand of Pedro III, and the story told by his grandfather, uh, given the given that the historical context is so important for the action of the novel. It is curious that Isabel Allende never gets to the mention the name of the place where to the poll takes place. There are several clues that reveal us that the rights about Chile, given the magnitude of the earthquake described in chapter 5. We assume that it refers to the one that struck Chile in 1939, and the chapter 13 tells the history of the military coup led by General Augusto Pinochet against the socialist president Salvador Allende, and the subsequent establishment of a totalitarian regime that would last 15 years. He were clearly reflect in the novel. They clearly reflect both the safe and the sometimes sexual character of the tortures and the characterization of the tortures, generally of low social class, and specifically cruel with those that who had studied or were of a medium high social cultural level. In in the house of the city, the tortured personalities himself in Esteban Garcia, a former worker of the Hacienda, who takes great pains with Alba, the the granddaughter of Esteban Trueba, also appears in the works or appears in the novels as several members of the Trueba family, as well as several characters for their revolutionary political ideology are forced to leave the country. Isabel Allende herself was forced to do. This book tells of the hand of his male protagonist, the Esteban Trueba, the story of his person and his family since he he was a young man who had nothing until he becomes a powerful man who even becomes a senator of the conservative party of the country that Isabel Allende describes as described as that is in continuous political evolution, that over the years we we will see that it is getting worse. And Esteban, uh, she was engaged to Rosa, a woman of extreme beautiful and delicate, that finally tragical that finally she died. Therefore, the protagonist decides to marry years later with his sister. She is Clara. Clara is a special woman. Uh, and she had magic and paranormal abilities, which allow him to communicate with the spirit, move objects with the mind, predict the future in some occasion. Uh, Clara, this mystic that emerged from her, Esteban will feel fascination and love for her until the last of her days. And Esteban, Esteban's character is not an easy character. He is a proud man with a bad temper, and in many cases, uh, anger. Uh, the and he need for revenge get out of hand. And Clara, together with the daughter they have together, Blanca, and her two twin children, try to the change and uh, soften uh, Esteban's character, trying to make him see things from different perspectives, but die the stub, the stubbornness of the patriarch. It will not be easy for any of them. In the story, a new love story will emerge, but this time this time it will be that of Blanca and one of the employees of her father, Pedro III Garcia, who will take Esteban almost the maintenance, not not only because his daughter he has failed in the love with a person of a different kin from from his firstborn, but also because revolutionary. He is a revolutionary uh, to all of Esteban's conservative political ideas. But the novels, but in the novel, that doesn't end with the generation generation of the children of Esteban and Clara and their respective stories. But the author tell us what happens with the granddaughter of Clara and Esteban, Alba, the love of Blanca and Pedro, that will become over the years in a woman with a strong character and fear principles that despite be despite being very different from those of his grandfather will be the right eyes of Esteban. And Alba will be destined to live many situation of suffering but died, to all these situations that I say that it happens. Her grandfather still manages to reconcile with the world, and what is more important, with his family. Recommendation of the novel, I have to say that at the beginning it is a book that caused me. It was love, and in many occasions I got mad at Esteban's attitude, but Clara's character keep me reading. The creation of Clara by the author has fascinated me. The description she has made has surprised and hooked me a lot. I think a great character with who empathize empathize very much, and whoever comes to love. But also I discovered some some good things from the book. It's very easy to read, and it catches you quickly, uh, as well as well as precise description of the scenarios. It was surprised by relationship between uh, Fedula and Clara, uh, and the description of Fedula's feeling, or description of the Esteban's feeling, were very careful, and didn't didn't fall into the vulgar or unreal unreal. The most interesting relationship was that of Blanca and Pedro III Garcia. For me, it was the most romantic touch, or the most romantic of the book.